Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. In this video tutorial I want to talk about our Drupal hosting and how you can use us to accelerate your Drupal website. So if you're already using Drupal, you're probably already pretty familiar with it, but I'll head over to their website. It's Drupal.org and it's an open source content management system, and it basically allows you to create a website easily and to use the CMS to manage all your posts, your pages, your articles, and all that stuff. Now, I've got several friends that actually use Drupal and they prefer it quite a lot over other platforms such as WordPress. So I definitely want to beef up our content here on our YouTube channel here at NameHero and as well as our NameHero blog. We're actually going to be featured on the Drupal hosting page here in 2019. So again, I want to go through our features here at NameHero and what we offer and how we can accelerate your Drupal website and make your hosting experience even better. So if you're using Drupal, then you're probably already very familiar with it. If you're not using Drupal, excuse me, if you're not using Drupal, I recommend you go over to their site and check it out. It's really cool software. And, I know with the recent updates and stuff to WordPress, some people have came to me and said they're ready to abandon it completely. So if you're looking for an alternative piece of software that's been around for a long time, then Drupal is one that you should look at. Again, I've got a good friend that runs a very high traffic website that uses Drupal, and it performs with ease. And it's been very, convenient for him to use that platform to distribute his content. So regardless the type of website you have, Drupal can run it. So I will go through in this video and show you all the features we have at NameHero and how we can make your hosting experience a very good one. So if you're not familiar with this, head over to NameHero.com, and this is our main page. So NameHero, we are a high-speed cloud web host. All of our packages are deployed on top of our cloud. So this leads to a very high-speed, reliable, secure, and scalable hosting environment. So if you're currently hosting with another provider, you might want to ask, are you on the cloud, and what kind of technology do you use? We started NameHero in 2015 because we didn't see a lot of this technology used by some of the larger hosting brands out there, such as HostGator, Bluehost, and we'll also cover some Drupal specific ones here in just a little bit. But what we didn't see is we didn't see high-speed cloud hosting using solid-state hard disk, which is a lot faster than your traditional hard drives. We also didn't see RAID 10 protection, which actually mirrors the same drive to provide that redundancy of data. And we didn't see the security that we thought we needed to see. And finally, one thing in the web hosting industry that was, really bad, in my opinion, was the customer service and support. So at NameHero, we live by our superhero support is what we call it. And if you scroll down on our main page, you can see that NameHero offers 24/7, 365 support via phone, live chat, or tickets. And our ticket desk is answered within 15 minutes. You can spin up a live chat by clicking here, or you can click here and give us a call using your computer, or at the top of the page is our phone number if you want to pull out your iPhone or smartphone and give us a ring. We'll always answer and be helpful and make your hosting experience a good one. You can also read through the NameHero difference here on our main page of our website. It talks about, some of the catalysts behind starting NameHero, about these other companies out there. And I don't want to completely bash other companies, but, companies that are still using the old school dedicated servers that have a lot of downtime. That's downtime costs you and your business money. So that's something that we put a high priority on. And of course, the customer service and support, we understand you might work on your website late in the evening or on the weekends, and we're there to support you. And we also don't have fake customer reviews here at NameHero. We've actually partnered with a third party called Shopper Approved, and they handle all our reviews and they actually verify them. So when someone places an order, when someone wants to leave a review, they make sure they're a real customer. So all the reviews you read about NameHero are from actual customers. They're not doctored up or fake. And our hosting packages, which is what this video is going to talk about, we've loaded them up with features because what we saw in the industry as a whole, and I still see some large companies like GoDaddy, they don't even include SSL with the hosting package. It's like an extra $70 a year. So SSL is free and automatic at NameHero. We believe that all the features should be tied into the package. You don't have to go, buying this and that. Once you buy your hosting package, you're ready to go. You shouldn't have to have upsells and all that. And we also put on here, the corporate giants. Ever since the mid to late 2000s, a lot of the smaller hosting companies got gobbled up by big corporations. corporations. And, it seems like these corporations, they're very interested in pleasing the investors and keeping the revenues high, and they've kind of forgotten about the customer and what made them. So at NameHero, we take a completely different approach on this. We're not publicly traded. We don't have a bunch of investors. We're a bunch of entrepreneurs that want to provide an entrepreneurial hosting solution. We understand what it's like to have your own business. We understand what it's like just starting your own business. And so that's why we offer this high-speed cloud platform, but at an affordable rate. So you're not going to pay thousands of dollars, even hundreds of dollars a month to get started with us here. I think our starter package is actually around $3.49 a month to get started. And then you can scale up from there as your website grows. But the main features I want to talk about here at NameHero is, one, we are a true cloud web hosting. All of our packages are on the cloud. We don't use a single dedicated server to install a bunch of hosting accounts. Our infrastructure is made up on the cloud. So, if there's no single point of failure, if something goes down, we can easily spin up more resources or another server. We use Lightspeed web server. A lot of other web hosts out there, they use Apache, and Lightspeed's up to 10 times faster than Apache. And so that's what we've chosen to use. A lot of other hosting companies, they don't choose to use Lightspeed because it is a premium web server, and there's a licensing fee involved in there. So that's why a lot of companies don't use it, but you will notice a huge increase in speed. Cloudflare is integrated along with their Railgun, which I'm going to talk about, which makes your website a lot faster. And again, we have tons of other features that we'll get to in this video, as well as our support channel. So feel free to go through our website here and read up about NameHero and the features we offer and all that. And again, we're gonna hit on a lot of these through this video tutorial. So I hope by the time you finish watching, you'll understand what we do here at NameHero and hopefully have decided on a new web host for your Drupal website. So if I go to NameHero here and I click on web hosting, you're going to see our packages. Now, these are our getting started packages. So, if you're just a startup and you're starting your website, this is where you want to go. If you have an existing website, then you want to look at what it's suitable for the monthly visitors. And of course, if you get more than 100,000 visitors a monthly, that's why we have our VPS hosting. So if you're getting more than 100,000, then you probably need to look at our VPS solutions because they are going to definitely serve you a lot better than our basic hosting packages. We also have reseller packages. Now, again, if you're looking to resell web hosting, maybe to resell Drupal hosting, or if you have tons of Drupal websites, maybe you want a reseller package because it allows you basically to resell our same basic hosting and to white label it. So we have that's an option as well. But today we're primarily going to be talking about our basic hosting packages because these are the starting point. And I'd say 9 out of 10 customers that come to NameHero, they get started here, and then as their website grows, gets past the 100,000 visitors a month, or as their needs get more and more, then they can upgrade to our VPS. And that's another benefit of being on the cloud because we can simply migrate you over to a VPS. There's no downtime involved, and then once you're on the VPS, you can continue to scale up to larger VPSs. So as your business grows, you can grow with your hosting packages. So this is the starting point, and if you're watching this is likely where you need to get started. Our starter cloud package, this is suitable for about 10,000 monthly visitors. Now, it's important to note we don't cap you at visitors. Well, the reason why we put these on here is to help our less technical friends to understand what package they need. This is based on the amount of CPU cores and the amount of RAM that you get per package. So if you have a computer and you're on your computer watching this, the more RAM in your computer, the faster it is. The less RAM, the slower it is. If you have a computer with 2 gigabytes of RAM and you open a bunch of programs, it starts to slow down. It gets bogged down. So it's the same way to look at web hosting packages. The more RAM you have and the more cores you have, CPU cores, the faster your website's going to be. So if you have a lot more visitors, you need more RAM and CPU cores. If you're using a lot of plugins and designs, or a big hefty design that makes a lot of database calls, then you need more as well. So that's why we put the suitable for monthly visitors, because it kind of gives you a gauge. You can kind of look at that and say, well, I'm getting about 30,000 monthly visitors. Well, you should probably go with the Turbo Cloud. Well, I'm getting 80,000. Then you probably need to look at the business. So it's kind of up to you, but this kind of gives you an estimate. Then you can go down here and look at the RAM and CPU cores and see which one best fits you. I would say at NameHero, most of the people that order the starter are the small businesses or startups that don't get a ton of monthly visitors, but they do need to have their website online. So that's what they start off with. But the majority of customers that come into NameHero, they pick the Plus or the Turbo. That's because the Plus allows you to host up to 6 websites. The Turbo allows you to host unlimited websites, where the Starter is just hosting for one single website. And even if you just have one website right now, you might decide, 6 months from now or a year from now, you want to have hosting for another website. So that's why people like the Plus, is just because it allows a little bit more flexibility. And this way you don't have to go back and buy another package and you already have it. So that's probably the most popular. And then the Turbo, for those that say, well, 25,000 visitors isn't quite 1,000 visitors a day. And if you're going to be pushing traffic, you probably want to start with the Turbo. So that's kind of the determining factor in there. And plus the Turbo has an additional gigabyte of RAM and additional CPU core. So your site's a little faster. And of course the Business is for those that, already have an established site. They're already getting traffic. And, if you're ordering that, you most likely know that, you need that or a VPS. So if you're kind of eyeballing that, then you already know that, you probably need those additional resources. Now with our packages here, all of them, as long as you order for a year or more, they come with a free domain for that first year. So if you don't have a domain, you can register it with us. And this is valid for the .com, the .net, the .org, the .mobi, the .us, and the .co.uk TLDs. And we'll see that on the sign up here. But again, you can register this for your first year for free. So that's going to save you $12.98, so about $1 more a month than a lot of other hosting companies that don't include that. Now, if you already have your domain and maybe you have it at your other web host, you can also transfer it over for free for that first year. So you don't lose any time you've already paid for in that domain. You just gain an extra year. And again, it's 100% free for that first year. So that's a big perk here at NameHero, and we reward new customers with that because once again, as I said at the beginning of the video, there's nothing worse than getting your web hosting package and then like, oh man, now I've got to pay for a domain registration or I got to pay for a domain transfer. So we're not going to do that to you here at NameHero. That's included for that first year. We don't limit the amount of storage or disk space you can use. Again, all of our storage is solid-state drives. And so solid-state drive, I actually have one, and I hope you can see this in the video. It looks like this. It's a lot smaller, and it doesn't have any moving parts inside of it. So they're not known to fail like old-school hard drives. And so a lot of web hosts out there, they still use old-school hard drives. And they look like this here. So this would be an old school SATA hard drive. Lots of moving pieces inside of here, and they're not as fast, not as fast on the read writes. So meaning that your website didn't respond as quick, but they're cheaper. So that's why a lot of other web hosts use those. We only use these solid state drives, and so they're a lot faster. If you have a MacBook Pro, this is what that uses, and a lot of the newer computers, they come with SSD drives. It can also be called flash storage as well, but it's a lot faster, a lot smaller, and they do not fail as often. So that's the only thing we use here at NameHero. We don't have any of those old school drives here. All of our SSD drives are also protected by a technology called RAID 10. RAID 10 is a software that actually is installed on the server, and so it means that when there's actually two of these drives in a particular server, and so the data is being mirrored in real time. So this would be this times 2, and so in case this would fail, which again they're not really known to fail a lot, there's another one that has the exact replication of the data. So that's what that RAID 10 is. And again, excuse me, you don't see a lot of web hosts that offer that RAID 10 technology because again, essentially you have to buy twice the amount of hard disk. You have to buy twice the amount of solid state drives to offer that. So that's a big perk of going with us here at NameHero is we want to offer that redundancy and security because if a drive would fail and you lose your data, that could be catastrophic. So it's being that replication in real time. Now this isn't a substitute for a backup. We do backups nightly, which also come complimentary of all of our packages, but it's another redundancy thing to keep your website fast. Okay, so now that we've talked about the hard disk, we've kind of highlighted on the RAM and cores. There is one limitation now with the unlimited storage. So if you want to upload 5 gigabytes in storage, we don't limit based on that. We limit based on the number of files. So if you hover over the I, you can see 250,000 inodes, which can also be called files. So an inode is basically a file. So if you're creating your Drupal website, one of the files in the install is one of the files. So you're allowed to have up to 250,000 with the starter and the plus. The turbo allows for 500,000 and the business is 500,000 as well. And of course, there is no limit on our VPSs. So this is basically how big your site is. If you have tons of thousands of pages or hundreds of pages, then you need to have a more inode limit. So again, that could be another determining factor in which package you choose. If you have a really large site, you need to be looking over here to the turbo and business. If you kind of have your average site, the 250,000 is fine. We rarely see customers hit this limit. If customers hit this limit, most of the time they already know they need to upgrade to a VPS, or they're looking at a VPS from the very beginning, because 250,000 is quite a few files and stuff. Now, this also is emails. So if you're going to use your hosting package for emails, you want to make sure you're not collecting junk emails and you're cleaning out your inbox, because that uses up your inodes. But again, we're not going to count the disk storage specifically, we count the files. So we feel like that's a better way to go about our hosting packages. Bandwidth is unmetered. As we head into 2019 here, bandwidth is cheap, and so we don't charge or limit on bandwidth for our basic hosting. If you're going to start doing some heavy, really heavy traffic, you're going to be on a VPS anyways, so we're not going to limit these packages. And then, once again, we've got those cores and RAM. The more cores, CPU cores, and the more RAM you have, the more resources your hosting package has, and the faster your website's going to be. I know I've heard from other customers that are coming from other web hosts. They say, well, I was with such and such web host, and they suspended my website because I used too many resources. So we like to be very transparent here at NameHero. We don't hide what resources we give you. We tell you exactly, so you know when you're buying what you get. And so if you start to encroach on these limits, you can see it inside a cPanel. We don't suspend the account and tell you you're over the limit. You can look in cPanel and see what limit you're encroaching on, and then you can upgrade. And again, since this is on the cloud, you can upgrade inside of our interface in real time. So you basically select, if you're on the Plus, you select the Turbo, you upgrade in real time, you make your payment, and then you have access to these resources. So that's the scalability factor of our cloud here, that you can grow. As your site grows, you can grow your resources. Free SSL, I hit on that nowadays Google Chrome will show a big not secure warning. So here at NameHero, you can see it says NameHero. Drupal here we have an EV certificate, so it shows our name, but like Drupal, it shows HTTPS and shows this lock. If you don't have this, it's actually going to show a not secure warning. Your visitors, they don't want to see not secure on our website. In today's data privacy, the age of data privacy, visitors don't want to see that. So if they're seeing that in Chrome, it's likely you're going to lose business or lose visitors. So SSL is free and automatic at NameHero. You don't have to go buy a certificate and install it and all that. I know GoDaddy, they still charge for that. We're not going to do that to you here at NameHero. We are partnered with Let's Encrypt. And this is where we get the SSL certificates from. So if you want to go to let'sencrypt.org, you can read about their project. Again, it's free, automatic, and open source. It's a absolutely great project, but there's not a ton of docs on it here, but this does explain the project we use to offer these free and automatic SSL certificates. We also offer Lightspeed caching. So I mentioned already about the Lightspeed web server, how it's faster than Apache, up to 10 times faster than Apache. So if you're moving over from, say, HostGator that still uses Apache, you're going to notice this immediate speed increase just from the Lightspeed server. But not only because of that, we also have their Lightspeed Cache, which is a plugin that you install to Drupal, which will accelerate your Drupal website. So if I head over to Lightspeed's website, and you can just Google this, Lightspeed Cache for Drupal, you can Google this headline here, and this page will come up. And it talks about, what it does, and it's better caching for Drupal. So caching, instead of having to call the server every time a visitor loads a page, it caches it on their machine locally, so it's faster. And if you go down here, we can see the benchmarks. So look at Lightspeed web server plus Lightspeed Cache. It's a lot faster versus like Apache and Varnish or Apache and a system cache. Look at that. Look how slow it is. And so like this is what you're going to see at your big brand name web host, or the majority of them at least, have like a setup like this. Whereas at NameHero, you get this request per second like this. So it's much faster. And I think they've got more benchmarks. Yeah. So, you can read through their memory load test, their CPU load test, and they've even got the try it yourself stuff here too. So you can go to their site and read even more about, the benefits of that. But it's 100% free here at NameHero. And I'm going to show you in this video how to install it and enable that on your website. It's super easy. It doesn't matter if you're a technical person or not, you can enable that. We also have free Cloudflare and Railgun, and I mentioned that, but let's talk about the Railgun for a second. If you go to Cloudflare, you can just Google Cloudflare Railgun, and this comes up, and Railgun ensures that the connection between your origin server and the Cloudflare network is fast as possible. So basically, if your visitor, and we're in Kansas City, so I'll use that as an example. If your visitor's in Kansas City and they pull your website up, Railgun actually calls the resources of your website from their Kansas City data center, so it decreases that latency. So this results in an average of 200% additional performance increase. So you're getting the SSD drives of RAID 10 at NameHero. You're getting Lightspeed. You're getting Lightspeed Cache, but then also Railgun. So this is how we are able to offer this blazing fast web hosting. And so you can read more about Railgun on their website. Now, if you were to go buy this at Cloudflare, you can see, I think it's on the bottom of their page, it's only available with their business package. Railgun is not available on their free or pro. But at NameHero, it's included. So you don't have to pay $200 a month per domain. It's just included on your package. So that's a huge savings there. And it's also going to be a huge accelerator for your website. So again, that is free on your hosting account at NameHero. And then we offer, the basic stuff, your unlimited park domains, subdomains, and email accounts. And it's on all packages. And that's pretty standard. You see that at HostGator, Bluehost, and your other, big name brands out there. If you hover over superhero features, the Lightspeed, the SSD RAID 10, we also use Maria database, which is it's a drop-in replacement for MySQL. It's just better performance, better security. Actually, the founders of MySQL sold out to Oracle quite some time ago, and they founded the Maria database project. And so again, it's this drop-in replacement. So Drupal still works the same. It's just faster, more performance and more security. We have daily, nightly backups. So every night your website backs up and you can access those inside a cPanel. So if you need a backup, you've got that. We offer 99.9% uptime. Now, this is something that a lot of companies say, but then when you actually read the fine print, they don't really mean it, or, it means network uptime. We actually mean it. 99.9% means 99.9 uptime. And so if you click our review page, you can go down to the bottom, and we're about to complete 2018 as I'm filming this video now, but we actually publish some of our uptime reports at the bottom here. So you can see for 2017, we got plenty of those reports from a third party. So you can actually click on those and review them and see for yourself our uptime. We're going to be adding the 2018 soon, but we also got tested by hostadvice.com. So they actually signed up for our services and put us to the test, and they confirmed that as well. We have some other reviews here on this page too, where a couple other bloggers have done that as well. I think this one right here, Daryl Wilson, he has a full video tutorial on NameHero, and he also confirmed that he had 100% uptime during his test. So you can read his as well, because we don't want to just say 99.9% uptime and not sustain that claim. So that is something we offer here at NameHero. And then the final feature was our 24/7, 365 support. If you go down to this page or any page on NameHero, you'll find our all the live chat, the call button, and as well as the ticket center here. The tickets are answered within 15 minutes, the live chat 60 seconds, or you can just pick up the phone, give us a call. You can also not get that press 1, press 2 stuff. We're going to answer the phone when you give us a ring. So you have those 3 channels that are available to you to help you get going. So that's all the benefits of NameHero and kind of what we offer. Before I go any further, I just want to do some comparisons because, if you're like me, this all sounds great, Ryan, but what else is out there? So if I go in Google and type in Drupal hosting, you're going to see we have ads. And of course we have HostGator, DigitalOcean, a couple hosts there place their ads, but I'm going to look for the first organic results. And this is actually Drupal.org. So this is Drupal's own website, and they've got their hosting partners here they list. Now, I'm excited to announce that NameHero is going to be on here in 2019. You don't see us yet because it hasn't reached the new year. So again, we're going to start gearing up a lot more of our Drupal content as we're going to be placed on here. But I feel like it's important to go to show a couple other Drupal hosts, and what other better place than to go to Drupal.org and actually show some of the other ones out there. So let's just take a look at JustHost for a second and talk about their packages so we can kind of have something to compare it to. So we can see everything you ever need to host your Drupal website, 74% discount, free domain. Okay, so we're offering that free domain. One-click Drupal install. We offer that as well, which I'm going to show you. Plenty of disk space. What do they say plenty? It's unmetered. What kind of limits they have? Term and normal. See, I don't think they list the actual limits. So they have a big usage policy, but they're not telling me any inode limits, which I'm sure they have them. We'll just say, okay, they have plenty. Free website builder, pretty standard. Marketing tools standard. Email stuff standard. Okay, what else they got? Design suite, marketing suite. So they have the 24/7 support, help center, American phone agents, rigorous. Trying to see more about their technology here so we can compare it. I think this is more of a landing page. If we go to get started, what else we have? Not seeing that at Just Host. Let's see. Where can we get more on their technical stuff? So I just want to compare the disk space and stuff. So not seeing it. Okay, so we know they're going to use MySQL or Postgres, PHP 5 or 7, custom any, quick installs. Okay, here's some stuff. Here's their technology stuff. Okay, so they've got their dual quad processor performance servers. So I'm going to assume this is their traditional dedicated servers. UPS power backups, Linux, customized Apache. So, a little different than NameHero. They're not using a cloud, and they're using Apache, where, as I said, we're using Lightspeed, so it's up to 10 times faster. So I think that would be the benefits over Just Host. And again, I'm not knocking them. Feel free to go sign up at Just Host if you'd like. They're obviously #1 on Drupal's page there, but I'm just saying they don't have that Lightspeed server, and I'm seeing just regular dedicated servers, so they're not on the cloud. So with NameHero, you get that Lightspeed server with the Lightspeed Cache, which shows up to 10 times faster. I'm also not seeing solid state drives on here. Most companies, if they have that, they'll put it on here. And I could be wrong. If I am, feel free to let me know in the comments of this video. But I'm not seeing solid state drives, and I don't want to spend so much time on this. But if I search SSD, I don't see it. So again, most companies that offer that will show it. So I think there's your advantage over Just Host, or a comparison at least. We have the SSD drives protected by RAID 10. We're on the cloud and Lightspeed. So the price, it looks about the same here. $349 a month, NameHero, $359 a month. So again, very same introductory pricing. So that's Just Host. Let's take a look over here at SiteGround. SiteGround, okay. SiteGround. So we have a full tutorial on NameHero to compare us to SiteGround. So if you go to NameHero, and if we click on support and we scroll down here, you're going to see recent blog posts. On our blog is where we have our comparison to SiteGround. So if I just click a post here, I'll get the search box and I can just type in SiteGround. And again, as I mentioned in my post, SiteGround, I have a lot of respect for them. I think they're a great company, and they're doing a lot of good things. So, but I did want to type up this post because they do have some really good packages, and just comparing NameHero to them. So, if you go check out this post, it's going to do a lot more than I can, highlight on this video. And I actually have another video on our YouTube channel that's like 2 hours long, so you can really get a comparison of what they have versus what we have. SiteGround does have solid-state drives. They don't use Lightspeed, though. They use a combination of Apache and Nginx, so it's a little different there. They do have free SSL. I don't know if they have Cloudflare or not. I think maybe Cloudflare is an addition. But again, you can go through our full review here and read through them all. I know there were some different account limits and some difference in like the caching. If we just include the Lightspeed caching on all packages. I think you have to have the Grow Big package or the Go Geek package. I'm sorry, with SiteGround to get the full caching. So I think that was one of the big differences with the caching and also the limits. They've got some different limits in here, which we highlighted on here, like their CPUs. They don't, when you sign up at SiteGround, they don't tell you how many CPU cores you get or RAM. They base it instead on the limits you use. And they also have inodes limits like NameHero. So a couple different things there. So again, you can go through this post and read through all the difference if you really want a comparison against SiteGround. SiteGround is one of the companies that has a lot of good reviews out there, and they're doing a lot of things right there. So I like SiteGround, and that's why I spent so much time on this post showing the difference. And you can see we actually had a speed contest with them. We were at 2.9 seconds. They were at 3.5 load time for the web browser. For the actual server response, we were at they were at 231 milliseconds. We were at 377 milliseconds. So very close there. But again, we have this video right here will show me walking through it. And again, I spent about 2 hours on that. So again, I like SiteGround, but there is some differences that we offer at NameHero than SiteGround offers. So feel free to check that out to go through all the difference in Drupal. All right, so we head back over here. We got OneOnOne. So OneOnOne actually have a couple data centers here in Kansas City, so I'm familiar with them for sure. They've actually been rebranded, and I can't pronounce their new name. So we're just going to call them OneOnOne. So let's see, they tout add Drupal to your website with one click. Okay, you're gonna get that NameHero. Your desired CMS is included. So you got SSL, PHP 7, OP cache, and SSD. Okay, so we have all that too. We have PHP 7, OP cache, or Lightspeed caching, SSD. Let's see. So they've got $1 a month, then $10 a month. Okay, so they have an introductory pricing. So it starts at $1 a month, then goes to $10 a month, and $14 a month. So it starts out at one price and goes higher. Let's see, best for one website. So their business is a lot like our starter. The pro, you can have 5, and then you can have 50 with the expert. So it's kind of similar to NameHero. They have 100 gigabytes of storage. So I think their database is SSD. I don't think... Okay, SSD websites. Okay, so these are SSD drives. So 100 gigabytes of storage, 250, 500. Again, at NameHero, we don't limit you based on gigabytes. We limit based on the inodes. I don't see their inodes on here, but I would say they probably do have an inode limit because I know most all companies do. So we'd have to search through their site, and I'd spend a lot of time to find that sometimes. And sometimes you can't find that. Actually, maybe it's in their TOS. So let's look in that real quick if we can't find that. So... inodes. Okay, there we go. So all web hosting packages include unlimited are subject to a limit of no more than 250,000 inodes. Okay, so 250,000 files is their limit. See, that's something a lot of companies put in their terms. We just like to put it out right here so you know before you buy, what it is. For OneOnOne, we had to go to their terms. We found it. So it's 250,000 for all packages, it looks like. I'm not seeing any difference. So yeah, so 250,000 for all their packages. Whereas at NameHero, it's 250,000 for this, and 500 for these two. So they kind of limit you a little bit more on those. They do have that free domain for select TLDs, and I'm assuming that's the first year. They have their level 1 performance. So this is where they show your memory and your RAM. This package here has 512 PHP memory and up to 2.5 gigs of RAM, 100 visitors a minute. So that's how they do their performance, is they just call it different levels, and they show the RAM here. So that's how they're doing theirs. Okay. Oh, and they have Railgun on their expert. So Cloudflare Railgun's on their expert. They have SiteLock malware, which I didn't mention our malware, so I'll talk about that. So SiteLock, and then the level 3 performance. So similar, they tell you here you can have up to 9 gigs, but 640 per PHP. It's a level 5. So kind of similar to NameHero, just a little different. We actually just showed the CPU cores and RAM. They call it level 1, level 2, and level 3. So just a little difference in the marketing. Since they do mention SiteLock, I want to mention about NameHero. We use Immunify. And if I go back to our blog, I need to just keep our blog up here because I reference that a lot. We have a software called Immunify 360 that runs on all of our servers. And you can go to immunify360.com and read up about it, but it's some really cool stuff. I'm really excited we have this, and I actually just blogged about it recently. So it's one of the top posts here, right here. So if you can Google, you can type this into Google, or you can hit our search box here and type in Immunify. We say free real-time WordPress malware scanning and preemptive security. This also means free real-time Drupal malware scanning as well. All of our accounts have real-time malware scanning. So when you upload files, they're checked for malware or viruses. And we also have these preemptive security measures. So this is a proactive approach. I believe SiteLock's more of a reactive approach. Once you do get injected, I think they might have a couple, but I'm not sure. I'm not that familiar with SiteLock. We use Immunify, and you can see all the features here. It's more than just malware protection. It's an advanced firewall, this intelligent artificial intelligence that actually predicts threats based on experience. So it's machine learning. It's always learning new threats, and it knows what threats are and tries to avoid them. The malware detection is a huge thing as it's in real time. And we can also clean these up too. So if our injective malware, we can use Immunify to clean those up. We have the proactive defense module, which actually will stop an attack before it starts. And the reputation management. So if your site becomes infected, it's actually analyzed so you know about it before you get delisted in Google or something crazy. So that's our malware deal here at NameHero. And this is free on all of our packages here, all of our basic hosting packages and our resellers. Our VPS, we're going to add the option soon. But that's how we handle malware here at NameHero. So that's a comparison. I'm not that familiar with SiteLock. SiteLock provides enhanced protection against malware vulnerabilities and other online threats. So, that's something they include. But we use Immunify, and again, it's all free. So that looks like that's OneOnOne's. Again, I've heard pretty good things about OneOnOne, but it depends on who you talk to. I know they did recently have an acquisition, so the ownership's changed. Tailored servers, okay, but yeah, I don't read their acquisition stuff there. But I know they do have data centers here in Kansas City, so I am familiar with OneOnOne. But that is another option. I'm just gonna go through two more here, then we'll move on. HostPapa, let's go take a look at them. $3.95 a month, so pretty similar. 100% Drupal compatible, simple Drupal installation, unlimited Drupal sites, free domain, worry-free site transfer. We do offer free migrations as well, so if you need to move over from another web host, 24/7 multilingual support. That's pretty good. We only offer English support here at NameHero, so that, if you speak a different language, maybe that's an option as well. Drupal host features easy installation, unlimited domains, unmetered web space, unlimited databases. We have that. 99.9% uptime. A lot of companies put this, but I don't know if they sustain it anywhere. But, you can test it and see. Drupal backend ready, everything you need. They have a comparison to GoDaddy and Yahoo. I'm not seeing anything about solid state drives, though. It's either automated optimized servers, web hosting with stable versions, back to 99% uptime. Yeah, I'm assuming they use Apache. Yeah, we've got Let's Encrypt. But I don't know if they have, I think it's Apache web server. Yeah, most companies, if they don't list it, they default to Apache web server. So I think that's mostly what a lot of other companies use, is that Apache server. So NameHero over HostPapa, you're getting the Apache. You're not getting Apache. You're getting Lightspeed. You're getting the solid state drives. I'm not seeing that on here either. And so you're getting that enhanced performance. And you're also on the cloud. I do not believe that HostPapa is on the cloud. So again, just another comparison here. And feel free to do your own research. I just wanted to go through a couple of these before we just jump right into NameHero, so you can make your own decision. I don't want to make your decision for you. I just want to compare some of these. I'll leave off here with A2. I know these fellas, and they're a good company as well. Consent, and I know A2 hosting, they use solid state drives. They are using just single dedicated servers, but they do have this Turbo on their Turbo package. And so their Turbo, I think, uses Nginx instead of Apache. So you can see on here, the Turbo has this fine-tuned A2 optimize. So it's APC, OP cache, Mem cache, and the Turbo cache. So that's what their Turbo is. And I think it also uses, yes, enhanced performance over Apaches. I think they're using Nginx. They tell us here. So Nginx is an open source deal, similar to Lightspeed, but it's open source, whereas Lightspeed is a premium license. So A2 does have this on their Turbo package, though. They don't on their Lite and their Swift. So if you want to get the 20 times faster loading, you need this Turbo, which is on their Turbo package. But again, I've heard good things about A2. They're based in Lansing, Michigan, I believe, or in Michigan somewhere. But again, they do have good reviews, and I've got respect for the people in the A2 organization. So, they're another company out there that I hear a lot about, and again, I know the people directly. So, just another option. Again, I think the biggest comparison is the Turbo option. Whereas all of our packages here have Lightspeed. We don't upsell that. It's just standard on all of them. So if you're doing the starter of the business, you got Lightspeed. You have Lightspeed Cache. You have Cloudflare. You have Cloudflare and Railgun. I think at A2 too, you have to purchase Cloudflare. Like, I think even if I get the Turbo and I go to their sign up, let's just type in my test domain. I have to do transfer. Actually, it might ask me for an EPP. I just want to go here and see what their upsell is on Cloudflare, if they upsell it or if it's included. I think you have to buy it. Go on down here. They have dropped my site. We offer this as well. Drupal, Cloudflare, yes. So it's $8 a month to get Cloudflare with A2. So that's, another thing that we just include here at NameHero. And the reason why we include it is before NameHero, I owned a bunch of internet businesses ever since the late 90s, and I always used Cloudflare for my companies. And so I wanted to offer a solution with everything. And so that's why we have Cloudflare and Railgun with all the packages. So, that's just another difference between A2. And again, not to knock A2 because they are good folks there, but just another difference. So that, covers several of these. There's Green Hosting Geeks, and a couple more on this page here. But we're going to go about our video here. That's just a brief comparison. Feel free to go through, though. Do your own research. Do your own reading up on reviews. All the standard stuff. We have our review page here, but you can also Google NameHero reviews and read more. We also include our support reviews. How's the support? You can go down here and look. This is feedback from our ticket desk. When a ticket closes, we ask the customer, please rate the tech 1 to 10. So that's here. If they have a 0, that means they didn't rate them. And we also ask, if you could leave some words, what decided your rating? And that's why we leave these in here. That way you kind of know up front what kind of support that we offer without having to kind of guess. You just go through and you can read, and you can go all the way back to 2016 even with that. So check that out as well while you're doing your comparison. And I get it. If I'm in Walmart or Target, I'm scanning barcodes to read reviews and to compare it on Amazon and everywhere else. So I completely understand the comparison. You don't have to take my word. I want to do this video so you can make your own decision. It will be more informed with NameHero at the completion of this. So that's a comparison with some other Drupal hosts out there. If you're with another one, feel free to ask. You can ask in the comments here, or put NameHero to the test and make your own decision. All right, so to get started now that we've went through our basic features, our bonus features, what's included, as well as compared to some other web hosts, let's dive into the setup. Okay, so most people, they choose either the Plus or the Turbo. And again, they do this based on the amount of visitors they're getting, as well as the number of sites they want to host. You can have up to 6 on the Plus or unlimited with Turbo. You can have up to about 25,000 visitors a month. Again, this is not a cap. If you hit 25,000 visitors, you might have plenty more, but it's based on this RAM and CPU. So again, if you want a little bit more, you can go to the Turbo, or you can always upgrade later on. That's a good thing about being on the cloud. You can always upgrade. So I'm just going to select the Plus cloud to get started here. So I'm going to click it. I've got a couple options. Now, we talked about that free domain registration. This applies to .com, .net, org, mobi, us, biz.co.uk. So if you want to register a new domain in one of these TLDs, it's free for the first year. So this is a $12.98 savings. And I think as we were doing our comparison, I think we saw that HostPapa offers it, and I think OneOnOne also offered a free domain for that first year. So, that's similar. But again, that's $1 a month, really, once you add it out, that you're going to save. So if you're registering a new name, this is what you would do. If you already have your domain, let's say you're at another host, as I mentioned, or maybe you're at GoDaddy. Maybe you already registered your name at GoDaddy and you want to move it over. You can do that here. Just type it in here, and you'll need the EPP code, or domain password, as it's also referred to. You can get that inside of your GoDaddy or current host's interface, but that is also free here at NameHero, and it also extends your domain for another year. So that's another added value. Now, option 3 here, it says you already have your domain, meaning it's already registered, and you're going to update your name servers yourself. You might already have your domain with us here at NameHero, because we also provide domain registrations over here. So maybe that applies to you. Now, for my example, I already have my domain in my demo account. So I'm going to use option 3 here because I don't need to register it. I don't need to transfer it because it's already there. So I'm just going to enter keydiets.com. That's my example. Whoops. Need to go to this field.com. So if you already have your name, this is how you do it. All right, now I'm just going to click on use, and it verifies. All right, so now we can configure everything. This just summarizes everything I've talked about already, some of our core features, just so you're certain you're getting the right one, you're getting the right package. Choose your billing cycle. All right, so first thing is at NameHero, we get a lot of questions on this, so let me highlight this. At NameHero, we have our pricing, and this is based on the best available rate. At NameHero, we reward our customers the longer they decide to sign up, because we find that doing month-to-month hosting, a lot of times your credit card expires or you forget about it, and so renewing month-to-month is kind of a pain in the butt. So this shows our pricing, best pricing for 36 months. So the longer you decide to sign up with NameHero, the better the price is. So you're going to save more by going to 36 months by then going with a year. So that's something to keep in mind too. The longer you sign up, the more you're going to save. Now you're going to notice on our Plus, we don't have a monthly option. And the reason why we don't is because, as I mentioned, the month-to-month billing, we saw a lot of problems. We tested everything. And we saw that people would sign up, they'd go good for 8 months, and then their credit card would expire, or they'd cancel their credit card, or they'd hit a limit, or something would happen, and then their hosting would get suspended. And then they'd forget about it, and their hosting would get get terminated. And so what we decided to do on our smaller packages, the starter and the plus, you have to sign up for these for at least 1 year, because we found that was easier than doing this $3 a month billing or $5 a month billing. So to get this rate, it's 36 months, and you choose it here. Now, if you do want to go month to month, you can go with our Turbo or Business. These provide the month to month billing. So that's, important to know. If you want to bill monthly, you can. Again, we just haven't seen a lot of success in monthly billing. So again, that's why we suggest going longer. But if you have to, that's what you can do. That option is, but it's only on those packages. So for this one, I recommend 36 months because with our fall special, that's the other thing. You'll see discounts apply on checkout. We're currently running our Fast Fall special, and this is about to change over to the winter, actually tomorrow. So if you're watching this video today, you can take advantage of this Fast Fall sale. Tomorrow we're going to be switching to the winter sale, which is going to be different pricing. So, it might look a little different than this tomorrow, but we still do try to have a discount for new customers. So this is going to apply, though, on the checkout. So right here, you're seeing our standard pricing, not our discounted pricing. So that'll show on the checkout. But still, yeah, you can see you're saving $2 a month by going with 36 months. So you save an extra $2 a month, and multiply it out over 36 months. That's about $100 you're saving by going to 36 months. So that's what most of our customers that come in at NameHero, that's what they like to do. And again, once you sign up, you can upgrade at any time. And also, once you upgrade, if you need to upgrade, you don't lose anything, right? This balance stays on your account and you can apply it. So you don't lose anything that you've paid for already. So keep that in mind. And we also have our 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you decide in 30 days it didn't work out, then you can have your money back. All right, so now we have Drop My Site, offsite backups. So we come with complimentary nightly backups at NameHero. Each night your data is backed up. Now, if you want more than one night's backup, because our complimentary backups are only one night, if you want 30 nights backup, you can go with Drop My Site. And so this is that option. Now, I highly recommend it, and that's why we put highly recommended, because sometimes one night's just not enough, because you might be working on your website Saturday, it backs up Saturday night, and then you don't go back to work on your website till Wednesday, and you realize you need data from Saturday. Well, since we only provide that one night, it's not enough. So Drop My Site allows 30 days of backups, and they only charge, this is per month, for the amount of space you're going to use. So 5 gigabytes is good enough to get you started. If you need more, you can upgrade at any time. You can go up to 200 gigabytes. And I doubt anyone's going to need to do that, but you have that option. But it's $1.99 a month just to have that added peace of mind. But since you're getting a free domain, you're already saving there. So then this provides that really at no additional cost if you look at it that way. So I recommend it, but it's optional. If you don't want it, you don't have to have it. But it just provides those extra backups right inside of cPanel too. All right, dedicated IP address. If you're going to be using email on your account, I highly recommend this because it gives the appearance to other email providers that you're on a dedicated server, and this ensures the highest level of email delivery. Now, a lot of customers nowadays, they want to go with G Suite or Google Apps, as it used to be called, or Zoho Mail. And if that's you want to use Gmail or your Yahoo account, whatnot, you can. That's fine. You won't need a dedicated IP. But if you want to use emails on the hosting package, I highly recommend doing this because, again, it gives the appearance to the email providers that you're using a dedicated server, and you have a higher level of email deliverability. It doesn't show you like on a shared host, right? So that's what I recommend that for. So it's an easy question. Email, yes, check it. Email, no, don't check it. But again, it's optional. So you can build your package out how you want it, but that's how I recommend it. Now, a lot of customers, if they don't choose the dedicated IP, most of them come back and get it later. So you can do that too, but it's just more of a pain to do it later than doing it right now. All right, so now we can see that Fast Fall coupon has applied. And that's going to save us $172. As I said, we're about to switch to our winter sale, so I'm not sure what those numbers are going to be. So these discounts change from time to time. So, whenever you sign up and you get a coupon code, use it because they do expire over time. So I can't promise, unless you watch this video today, tomorrow, before we switch, I can't promise the Fast Fall sale will be there, but there's going to be other discounts. So, make sure to check those out and use them before they expire. But you can see for 3 years, our hosting package is $431.28, dedicated IP is $29.95. Now, if we subtract that, savings of almost half, now it comes out to $288.72. And this is also including that Drop My Site. So that's what our hosting is going to be for 3 years. Now, it's going to renew back at the regular rate after 3 years. So that gives you plenty of time to evaluate us at NameHero and see if you like us. And also we can sustain those 99.9% uptimes as well as that blazing fast load time that we offer here at NameHero. So, you come in about half the rate here using the fall sale that is available right now. So, certainly a big savings. Again, I recommend using the coupons as you see them before they expire. But again, the longer you sign up, the more you save. And that's why I recommend that 36-month deal is, I know it's more upfront, but after that, you're done with it for 3 years. You don't have to worry about the credit card expiring or hitting a bill every single month. It's just paid for and out of the way. A lot of customers choose to go that way at NameHero, and trust me, it makes your experience a lot simpler. Okay, once we're good with all that, we can go to checkout. And this is pretty basic stuff. Now we have a couple reviews floating over here. If you want to click here, you can see, if you kind of have that buyer's, that last minute question, you can click on there and read these reviews. Now, these are collected by Shopper Approved. They are third party. So we can't go in and edit these. These are not doctored up, just because you're on the checkout page. These are actually verified by Shopper Approved to be real and actual customers and what they thought about us. So, before you sign up, if you have any last minute doubts, check these out. Check out what our customers are saying, and they'll tell the story. I can say all I can say on this video, but you can go read through these and help you make a decision easier. We've got a little badge. It also shows the number of reviews we have on there. We accept all major American credit cards and PayPal. So to get started here, we just enter our personal information, our first and last name, our email address. Now make sure this is a valid one because this is where your sign up email is going to go, as well as a valid phone number, and in case we never need to reach you. Your billing address, this is important that it matches your credit card because that's what's going to make it go through. So make sure this matches your credit card statement if you're using a credit card. Also, we would appreciate if you tell us how you found us. This just helps us know, where we're marketing and where we're going right and where we're going wrong. So we'd certainly be helpful if you'd put that on there. If you're watching this on YouTube, you click YouTube. Support pin. This is if you ever call in or hit us on live chat. This is so we know who you say you are. So you make this up. This isn't something we assign you. You just make it up. So just whatever, 4455. It's a 4-digit pin code. So if you call in, they'll say, hey, hey, my name is Ryan. My domain's key diets. The support text, okay, what's your support pin? And this is what that is. So you just make this up. There's no wrong or right answer. Something you'll remember though. And then of course your password. You want to make sure it's a strong one. And then finally, you can do your payment. We accept all major American credit cards. PayPal is an option. A lot of people use PayPal. And then we have Coinbase. I'm a cryptocurrency nerd. I like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cache, Ethereum, all that stuff. You can pay with that if you have a crypto wallet. So on the next page, you'll have options to send that to our crypto address. And of course, we have our terms of service. At NameHero, we pride ourselves on being a transparent web hosting company. So, read through the stuff. If you don't want to, hey, I get it. It's long, but I'll summarize it for you. We do not allow adult content. If you're hosting adult content, we do not allow that. We don't have, if you're going to be spamming, we have zero tolerance spam policy. So no adult, no spam. More specifics on acceptable use, you can click there, but that's the bulk of it. Pretty much anything sketchy we don't allow. Privacy policy, you can learn about how we handle your data. We don't share your data with anyone, and we'll terminate your data if you want us to, but read through that for all the nitty-gritty on that. Our payment and refund policy, that's probably the biggest one, so that's why we have a video and we talk about it here. We have a 30-day money back on all hosting packages. They're limited to one per customer. This excludes a setup fee. If you sign up, it will exclude the setup fee if you need your money back, because this allows us to provision the account and provide your initial support. If you order any additional services, that's not included. And also you have to write your request in, and refunds are sent within 31 days of the refund request. And of course, if you violate our terms, unfortunately, we cannot honor those. Domain registrations and renewals are final, and we don't provide extensions on invoices. So read through that one there, if nothing else, just so you understand how our payment terms work. NameHero, we pride ourselves in being upfront, transparent from the get-go. So before you even sign up how everything works. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and complete this payment on my end and just pause this video, take a quick breath, and I'll resume. All right, once you get signed up for your account here at NameHero, we have a quick survey, and this is our obsession with customer service and satisfaction. So if you enjoyed your order experience and maybe this video helped you, we certainly do appreciate all 5 stars. And you also have the opportunity to share your experience with others. Again, this goes back to the reviews of Amazon that I personally love. If you kind of want to pay it forward, we certainly do appreciate that. Just lets others know what we're up to here and how your process was. The option to leave your name. Your email is going to come in automatically. And this is not to spam you or send you upsells or cross sells. This is only to confirm your orders. So when you submit that, it is certainly safe. Now, if you're not ready, if you say, well, I don't know yet, I'm just getting started, that's fine too. Just hit the X up here. It's not required to go to your account. It's just part of our customer service and satisfaction obsession. And we want to make sure we're doing a great job on the front end, on the back end, and every which way to make sure your experience is a good one, because we do value you as a customer and we want to earn your trust. It's not something we just gain. We understand that we have to gain your trust over time. All right, so my order is confirmed. So now I'll continue to the client area. Now, this is the main client area of NameHero. This is where you manage everything. So your web hosting's here, your domains are here. If you ever have a ticket, it's there, and your invoices are all in there. You can see your info is there as well. You have important notices, so like this account, the domains are expiring. Tickets, if you have recent tickets or need to open one. Affiliate program, this is changing, so don't worry about that. Recent news to register a domain, your active products and services, and all that stuff. So everything to your account's in here. Now, the first thing I want to do is go to the package I just bought. So I'm going to click on Cloud Web Hosting. And I've got 3 in here because it's a demo account, but I'm going to click on the Plus Cloud because that's what I just bought. Now, this shows an overview of the package that I just purchased. So it shows the package is the Plus. It's for keydiets.com. And the first thing I need to do is, since I used option 3 during the sign up that said I would update my name servers, I actually need to go in and check them. Now, if you bought your domain from us at NameHero, registered it, or you transferred it, this is taken care of for you. But if your name's still at, say, GoDaddy, maybe you're not ready to transfer it yet, you need to update your name servers to your hosting package. This is what links your domain to the hosting. So in my example, Key Diets, it will be linked once I change the name servers to these. So if I go my NameHero interface, I go to Key Diets and I click on name servers, you can see I'll use custom name servers and then I enter them. Now, I had this done for another tutorial, so they're already entered. But if your name's at Namecheap or GoDaddy or somewhere else, you want to go over there and enter these. And so you get these from this. And they'll also be inside of your welcome email. So if you have any trouble updating your name servers, let us know. But this is just what makes that link between your domain and the web hosting. So once you do that, you click Save. And if you're updating your name servers for the first time, this might take a couple hours to propagate. We generally tell customers, wait 24 to 48 hours. It really depends on where you live. In the United States, most of the time, these are active within an hour or two. But if your website's not pulling up immediately, that's probably why it's just still propagating. So if I click Key Diets, you can see it's propagated because I already had them changed. But this is what the website looks like because there's nothing on it yet. And of course, we still can confirm we're using Lightspeed because it says it here. All right, so now I want to show you how to install Drupal and how easy we make this at NameHero. You don't have to have any technical experience. You don't have to call an IT guy. You don't have to upload anything or download software. It's all done right inside of here. So the first thing I want to do is under Actions, I want to log into cPanel. And so cPanel is your central control unit for your website. So click it. And this is what it looks like. So this is where you do everything. It's where you add your email addresses, where you upload your files, where you install Drupal, where you manage everything. And if we look here on the right, we can see our domain here and our IP and all that stuff. But if we go down here, our statistics are right here. So remember how we talked about the CPUs and the RAM earlier? This is where we monitor that usage. So if this starts turning yellow or orange, we know it might be time to upgrade. If it's red, then we know we've reached these limits. So we have all this inside of cPanel. So there's no guessing, if your site's encroaching on those limits, you know right off the bat, right inside of here. So anytime that you want to check this, just log into cPanel and check it. Then you know if it's time to upgrade or not. All right, so to install this, we scroll down to the bottom here. And we use an application called Softaculous. So in Softaculous, we want to find Drupal. Now, I'm surprised it's not listed here by WordPress, but, I don't know if they charge for this or not, but it's not. So we have to find it. So if we click on Portals and CMS, we'll find it. And it's down here towards the bottom. They must not have paid him enough, or they might not have paid him at all. I don't know. Where is Drupal? But it's on down here. Let me just do my Control F. And it's not in there, so we can use the search box. Right there. Okay, so you can just type it in the search box. It should be in that listing. It probably is, but we're trying to move along here. So you just type in here Drupal into the Softaculous and it comes right up here. So again, this is an overview of Drupal. And if you've never used it, as I recommend, go to Drupal.org, read up about it. They've got a demo and some screenshots, but sometimes those are outdated. So we're just going to go ahead and proceed with the install. So this just tells about Drupal. Once it's installed, you'll see it under My Apps, but we want to install it. So we're just going to click Install Now. Okay, now this saves you the trouble of having to download it from Drupal.org and upload it and all that. This allows you to do it in one click. So first, you want to pick which version you want. Now, if you're just installing Drupal for the first time, you're going to want 8.6.4. Now, the Lightspeed Cache that we talked about earlier, it only works on version 8 forward. So if you're running one of these old versions, you're not going to have that Lightspeed Cache. So you want to run the latest and greatest. Now, if you're coming over from another web host, that might not be an option yet, but those other versions are available for you. So I always recommend going with the latest version though. Okay, now we have to choose our protocol. I like to use HTTPS www, personal preference, and www allows us to use Cloudflare. Now, I'm not going to enable that right now, but when I go to enable it, I'm going to need that. So that's why I select that. HTTPS, that's because we have that secure certificate. So that's going to make sure our site is secure. Again, that's automatic and free at NameHero. If you just signed up with this might show a trusted SSL certificate's not found. And that's because it takes a little bit of time for that to generate. If that happens, don't worry. It's still fine. It will generate. Okay, choose domain. So, of course, we just signed up with Key Diets. But since this package allows for up to 6 domains, you might have another one. So you could have that option, but it's just Key Diets for me since that's the only domain I've set up. The in directory, this is where you want to install Drupal actually. So if I go back to my site and I look, this is just a blank index. If I want Drupal to show up just here as soon as someone types in keydiets.com, I want to delete this. Delete. Now if I install it in a subfolder, that means when I load this page, there's going to be a folder here I'd have to click. So that'd be kind of silly, right? If someone goes to your website and see this and have to click, that wouldn't make any sense. So to make it just show up when they go to your site, you just delete this. Okay, cron job, you can just ignore that. Just leave that default. Site name, this is the name of your website. I'm just going to keep it my Drupal right now, but you can change it to whatever. You can always go in and edit this later too. Admin username and password. So you can see it's generated a nice strong one for you. Please make these strong. Again, use the generated ones or generate a pass that's hard to remember, right? I'm going to copy this one. That's a pretty good one here. But please don't use like admin and pass because you'll get hacked. So someone that wants in your site is going to use admin and pass. If you don't want to use this password, you can click this key and it'll generate you a nice secure one. Admin email, use a valid email here because if you lose this, that's how you're going to get back in. So make sure you're using a valid email. That's all there is to it. There is some advanced options. If you don't know what you're doing, please don't touch this stuff. But, it just gives you a couple different options. But again, I don't like to mess with those the first go around. So just click install now. And it just takes a second to install. So this is basically taking all the software and putting it on your web space. All right, that was hard, right? Now, if we go to Key Diets now, if we go back to Key Diets and we refresh it, you can see, bam, we have Drupal. And if I go through this, actually, it's going to show me my secure Drupal. You can see the box there. See, it's secure, ready to go. So from the second we signed up to got online, now we have an SSL certificate installed. Drupal is ready to go. So now I'm ready to start publishing my website. You can see here I also have my admin URL. So if I click this, I've got to log in. And of course, I didn't write down my admin user, and I'm not going to find it here. So I've got to reset that. Just give me 1 second while I grab that back. Yeah, it's important to write that down. I thought about doing it before we got through this install, and I just went too fast and didn't do it. So please write that down so you don't have to reset it like I did. So you're going to enter your admin username, your admin password, and click login. Okay, so this is the back end of Drupal. This is where you go to build your website out, to add your content, and to manage it all. So the back end is here, and then if we go to keydiets.com, that is what's called the front end, meaning this is where the actual site lives. Now you can see, since I'm logged in, I have this admin bar here at the top. If I'm not logged in, that gives me another view. If I'm not logged in, though, it just shows the regular site. So I'll head back over here, though. Once I'm logged in, I've got several different options. I've got my content that I can add. So, if I wanted to add pages and stuff, I would do it here. Add an article or a basic page. I've got my comments when they come in, and of course files, if I upload files and stuff to my pages. If I go back to here, go back to my admin area, I've got the site structure, how I want to set it up and all that. And again, this video, I'm not going to go through developing a Drupal site. I just want to show you where everything is, because this, of course, would take a lot longer to do that. So, but if I wanted to, configure where the sidebar is and the menus, I do it here. The type of comments, my contact forms, content types, and all the other good stuff. So again, I could spend a lot of time through each one of these, but I'm not going to do that. I just want to basically show you how the install works and how to get Lightspeed Cache set up. So there's many things you can do. If you're already using Drupal, you already are familiar with this. But if you're not, I will get some more content where I go through each and every one of these in extended detail. So I can show you how to go about that, because Drupal is so powerful. It can do so many things. So we will make sure we go through each one of those individually in another video though. But the first thing I do want to do is install that Lightspeed cache, because remember at NameHero, once you go with this, you get the Lightspeed web server. So it's already 10 times faster than Apache. You're upgrading, if you don't already, to the solid state drive. So remember these little tiny drives, you're going to have this. So you're going to load faster because of this Lightspeed web server and the Lightspeed cache. But the Lightspeed cache, you actually have to install it yourself on your Drupal installation. It doesn't come in standard. So it's really easy though. From the back end here, we just want to navigate over to the content section, to the configuration section of this. I'm sorry, extend section. Extend section right here is where we add the modules. So, and also you can just go to yoursite.com/admin/modules, and that's where we load this up here. But the extend is what you want to add the Lightspeed cache. So you can see there's already some on here, but the Lightspeed cache isn't. So I have to add it. So I'm going to click install new module, and I get the option to install from a URL or to upload it. So for that, I head over here to Lightspeed's site. And again, you can just Google this, Lightspeed Cache for Drupal, and it'll come up. But you click the download, and from here, they've got it on GitHub. So I would just head over to GitHub repository. Whoops. Hold on. My apologies. Head over to the GitHub repository, which is trying to download it right here. I promise we'll get it. All right, so GitHub, and we'll hover over this, and we'll right-click on Download Zip and copy link address. And just to show that again, I go to the GitHub page, which is on that page we just saw. See also, click here, hover over this, click it, right-click on Download, copy link address. All right, so once I have that, I go back to here, and then I paste it. Now, you can also download this to your computer. There's no problem doing that. I mean, but I like the simple way. So the simple way is to grab the URL, click install. It just takes a second. Bam, installed. Okay, so now we have to enable it. So we're going to click enable newly added modules. All right, so now we'll go down here to Lightspeed Cache. Click it here and install. All right, it's been enabled. Now this is available update, so we can ignore that for now. But if we go to Lightspeed Cache, now we can click it here and click configure. And this is where we configure all of it, okay? It's all configurable here. Now there's one more thing we need to do to completely enable it on our site. So if we go back to this page here, this is going to show us, and we need to add this to our htaccess file. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to go back into cPanel. Just the main page of cPanel. Go to File Manager, go to www, and over Settings, go to Show Hidden Files, click Save, htaccess, Edit, and then we're just going to copy and paste this piece of code in there. So you can put it anywhere inside this file where you want to have it. If you want to do the top or bottom, it's really up to you. If you just want to put it right here, you can. It doesn't make a difference. But what you do, you just click Save, and then it's added. So that's all there is to it. I know it seems like a little bit more than you'd like, but you just go and you download it, you add it, and enable it, and then you install it. And then you can, of course, configure it the way you would like it. So it's got the default stuff is already on this, so the cache status is on. Of course, you probably want to turn debug off once you get going. Now, if you want to make sure it's on, you can leave debug on, and it'll show in the header of your page. The public cache times alive, and this is the amount of time for which a page should be cached by Lightspeed web server in seconds. You can play around with this. Default value should be fine for most. And save it. And so now your site will use the Lightspeed Cache. So now when I'm going over to keydiets.com, we'll notice an increase in load. Now, I'm probably not going to notice it right off the bat with this default content, but your visitors, and as you add content, you'll start to notice this. Now, when you start making design changes, you might notice that they don't update in real time. That's because it's caching. So if you're doing like design changes, you probably want to turn the cache off and just save it. If you want to leave it on, you can, but you just need to clear the site. Clear all or clear the site, either one, and it flushes it out. And then you can go back to refresh and see those changes. So again, with caching, it takes the resources, the styles, and all that stuff, and it caches it in your browser so it doesn't pull more load every time you're hitting a page. That's how it speeds it up. And the Lightspeed Cache, again, works closely with the Lightspeed web server to do this very efficiently and fast. So basically, you can get a lot more visitors on your site a lot faster, which just reduces your CPU usage and your RAM usage. So again, you know how we mentioned how many visitors you can probably have a lot more using the Lightspeed Cache. So again, it's optional. You know, you don't have to have it, but it just speeds up your Drupal website. You know, it just makes it a lot faster using this. So I highly recommend it, but it's up to you whether you want to do so or not. So that is what it takes to get Drupal hosting live at NameHero. You know, we've compared the packages. We've talked about the features we offer here at NameHero. We've talked about some of our competitors, and again, I don't want to make your decision for you. Feel free to go through them, you know, check them out. You know, heck, sign up for a couple of them. You know, and see. You know, so you make your own decision. But at least you know how we work here at NameHero. This is how we build it out. I will show you two final things that are big Drupal that our Drupal audience likes. One is the Cloudflare. So if you wanted to enable Cloudflare in cPanel, we just go back to our cPanel and type in Cloudflare will show up. We would just add it here. So if you already have a Cloudflare account, you'd click here to add it, just to log in. Or you could click here to, or no, this will create you a new one, I'm sorry. Or this will bring in the sign-in page. So if you already have your account, you sign in. If you don't, you can sign up. And when you sign up, it's probably going to ask you, and you just want the free account because the Railgun will be in that for free. So that's how you enable Cloudflare. You just follow through this, and it's super easy to do. The SSL is taken care of. That's how you do the Lightspeed Cache. Now, the final thing I'll talk about is our one-click Drupal staging. So this is our Drupal website. Now, if we had a full site going here with a bunch of content and stuff, but we wanted to look at a new theme, and we didn't want to do it to our live site, we need a staging environment set up, an environment where we make changes that our visitors don't see. So at NameHero, we have one-click staging. So to get to that, we just go back down here, and we go back to our portals and CMSs. Once again, I'm unsure why Drupal's not at the top. Like I said, maybe they didn't pay enough or pay their fees. I don't know. But anyways, we can search for them and find it here, and we can click on it. Once we click on Drupal here, we now have My Apps. And so you can see here's where our website is that we set up, Key Diets. Now, the cool part about this is we can actually go here and update it if we want to. But over here to the right, you have a couple options. The one we're going to talk about now is the Create Staging. It's not to be confused with cloning, because you can actually clone this install to another domain if you'd like, but a staging environment actually sets up the same install. So it does clone it, but it allows you to push the changes back to your website, meaning that you create the staging environment, you do all the changes you want, then you can push it back out to the live site. Whereas cloning just creates an exact clone of your website. It doesn't allow you to push them back out. And then you have the backup option, and then of course you can edit or delete it. But we're going to click Stage, and we go here. We got this new screen here. So again, we just use our protocol. If you had another domain, you could set up your staging on another domain. So let's say you didn't want to have it a subfolder and you wanted to use an add-on domain, you could do that. This is the directory it's going to be in. So we just call it Drupal 9. This is the database name, the new database it's going to create. You can just leave it default, and the cron job leave default. Click Create Staging. It just takes a second. Now, if you have a really large site, this might take a little longer, but that's all it does. Now we have our staging site. So this is the same exact clone of our Key Diets website. So it's exactly like it. in our admin area, and we go into here, this is going to be the same username and password that we use for our main site. But when we log in here, we're on a staging environment, meaning all the changes we make are not going to reflect on the live site. So it's important when you're staging, though, to double check your URLs. Make sure you're in the staging one and not in your regular admin URL. Because I know me personally, I've made that mistake, and I don't want to see you make it too. So you want to make sure you're making your edits on the staging area. But once you're finished doing that, we can go back to Drupal and click here. And you'll see here's the staging environment, but now this new icon right here, push to live. So once you're finished making your changes in the staging, you just click push to live. And it gives you the options. You can, the default options are just to make it live, or you can customize it. And if you customize, you can overwrite certain things or not. So, if you're getting, let's say you didn't edit, certain areas of the database, meaning you didn't add menus or pages or whatnot, you don't have to push all those changes. So, this is more for the advanced user, though. If you don't know what you're doing, just do the default options. But it's going to take all the changes made and push it live. Now, it's important to remember, though, this will overwrite anything else on your site. So this is why the customize option is good, because if you don't want to overwrite the files and folders, because maybe you didn't update anything or even add a file or folder, maybe you don't want to do that. Or maybe you did, maybe you added themes or whatever, but it took a carbon copy of the time that you created the staging. But if you added content since then, you of course don't want to overwrite that. So be careful with the staging. Understand that it makes an exact copy of your site when you did it, but none of the changes if you've made on the live site will carry over. So that's why we use this customize area. But once you're certain of it, you just push it to live, and it takes all the staging area and pushes it back into the live site. And again, the more changes you made or the bigger the site is, the longer it's going to take. And you can see it makes a copy, then it copies everything over and does its thing. So it takes just a little bit longer to restore it. But now you can see it's back, and any changes we would have made on the staging environment is now on the live site. So I think that's really cool, because that will save you a lot of time of having to back up everything, and to do it in a live environment is dangerous. So it allows you to play with new things. Me personally, I like to do this and do an upgrade. Like recently, WordPress had this massive upgrade, and I like to play around with that in a staging environment before I turn it live. But once it's done, it's important to note the staging environment does not go away. It's still here. So, if you want to go back and make more changes, you could. But once you're finished with it, you want to remove it, because you don't want to have multiple copies of Drupal, because one can go out of date and you forget to update it, or if you don't have auto updates on. But two, it takes up space. It takes up your inodes, and, it's also just not secure. So once you're finished, I like to click the red X and, verify that you're on the right one, and then remove it. Because that just keeps your web space nice, clean, and incomplete. But again, it doesn't automatically remove it for you. So now you can see we just have the single Drupal installation. So that's how staging works. That's a huge feature that we've added here at NameHero. We've had tons of requests for it, so I'm glad to have that live. And it's just as easy as installing, to set up a staging environment. And a lot of web hosts out there, they charge premiums for stuff like this. This is something else that's just included right here at NameHero. So I think that covers pretty much everything, though, that I wanted to talk about in this video. Now, I know we did not get into actually building out the Drupal site, and I'll do other tutorials on how to do that. If this is your first Drupal site, Drupal is so complex and powerful, it will do a lot, but it would take a lot more time than just covering the actual hosting of Drupal. But, you do have the flexibility of the cloud. You can scale up. If your site becomes really popular, you can move to a VPS. And so we have many different options for Drupal. I look forward to you coming on if you're not a current customer at NameHero. I do want to, welcome you over to our platform and let you know how serious we do take customer service and satisfaction. And we want to provide you with a platform so you can focus on your business, writing your web page, updating your web page, and not having to worry about all the technical stuff. So, and we try to keep it as simple as possible. We appreciate any feedback. If you have any questions, you can always go over here to our support tab and click on knowledge base. A lot of questions you might have, you can search for them inside of our knowledge base here. But then at the way bottom here, you always have our superhero support team backing you. You can call us, live chat, and you've always got the help desk too. So you've got 3 different options to reach our team 24/7, 365. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your consideration to using NameHero. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have not already, you can, on every page of NameHero, you'll find a link to it here. But we certainly appreciate the subscriptions because a lot of our content at NameHero comes on this YouTube channel first. You can learn more about our malware and just getting started with us in general. And we've got some playlists and all that, but you just click here to subscribe. But if this video helped you out, we also appreciate the thumbs up because that also lets us know that, what we're doing you like, and we can do more of it as well. So we certainly do appreciate your support on YouTube, and as well as the other social channels, Facebook and Twitter. But YouTube's a great one because we can talk to you. You can talk to me face to face and get to learn from us. So thanks so much for watching and using us here at NameHero.com.